think it's important for everyone to break down the stigmas that are attached to mental health. I decided to take a course and go one step further to understand it better and to become a better leader within RESMAN, so I could be there to help and support colleagues and actually, help friends if they were ever in need. I did the course with Manchester University, and yeah, it was a really worthwhile course, and it's given me some of the skills that could be required if any of my colleagues or friends ever need the support. One of the things that the course taught me was that, of course, a manager might be the person who an employee comes to in the first instance, but you should never be the person to replace professional mental health care. It's a shame because many employees don't think that they can approach someone in the workplace because it might come across as them showing some kind of weakness. And some employees actually think that, it might harm their career, which is a real shame that people don't feel that they can come and speak to their line managers or colleagues. What the course taught was that the manager can be just that first instance, empathetic and approachable. It's not always just enough, but it's a good start. A manager should always be ready to approach the subject with an employee and listen to them and then help come up with a plan to set them on the right path when they're going through an instance of poor mental health. During this course, it wasn't just theoretical. I actually got to speak directly to people who had suffered different types of poor mental health in the workplace. I got to look them in the eyes and listen to their stories, listen to them about what they were going through, again, going back to the stigma that they felt, how they could approach their line manager, what their line manager did to kind of set them on the right path and be supportive. And so, yeah, it's really valuable to kind of speak to people who have had events. Some of the events are like short term and some are longer term and build gradually. And I think it was also important to understand the difference of how to handle those different instances between short-term and long-term poor mental health in the workplace. Unfortunately, yes. I think especially people who may have had anxieties even before the pandemic started, suddenly, being maybe some people have been in a solitary working environment, or even just a different working environment where they've been withdrawn from their colleagues in the work life. That can have its own strain on people who, as I said, already were anxious about things in the workplace. I think the most important thing is that now that everyone's, or not everyone, but most people are starting to return to work, is that part of doing this video is just really to say to everyone, just look out for your colleagues and look out for signs that people might be overwhelmed by returning to work. Just think about what some people might be going through, and just be, a generally good colleague and aware of what strain returning to work for some people might be, because they've left maybe their safe cocoon, or at least a cocoon that they got used to of working from home. And they've been remote from their colleagues and remote from their managers and remote from their mentors. And, there's going to be an extra level of strain with returning to work and life changing. So just look out for your colleagues. I think when we always have to think that people have life going on as well as work, and there could be any event that happens in your life or at work that adds extra levels of stress. And imagine trying to perform your job when you've got something big going on away from work. We always have to think about what people have got going on and trying to maintain a good level of work, trying to impress everyone and get on well at work and get on well with colleagues and, do a good job whilst you're overwhelmed, is a big ask for people. And I think we just always have to realise that people have got stuff going on, and these things constantly on your mind, even when you're at work, and they don't leave your mind when at work. So we just have to think that people always have things going on, and if someone doesn't seem to be performing to their usual levels, it's not because of their inability to work and do their job. They could have something going on, and look out for these signs, because that overwhelming feeling isn't nice, and those employees could be heading for a worse event in their mental health. As a manager, you should be open and empathetic in the beginning. You should definitely listen to what the employee has to say and what they're going through. Never judge, of course. And then it's also useful to reassure them and put a plan in place. Don't let them feel that this is going to be the only and last conversation. Make them think that there's going to be follow-up, and you're going to be there to support them, alongside professional help. And so I would just say, to managers to, think about these simple steps in the toolkit, be there for employees, and your workplace will be a whole lot better place for it.